Welcome back to Wake Up America. I'm Ellison Maloney. It has been 4 weeks since the quadruple murder of 4 college students in Moscow, Idaho. As police say, they have good tips despite the lack of evidence on a suspect and a murder weapon. Joining us now for more is FBI agent and former Navy SEAL Jonathan Gilliam. Jonathan, thanks for joining us. So it's been 4 weeks. We still don't have a suspect. People are concerned, especially people who live there. This could be a cold case, although we are hearing that police say there may be a new update today. Have you heard anything about this? Do you think since they're telling the media this, they may have something, or is this just kind of an update that they normally would do?
I think it's probably just going to be an update that they normally do, because I think in a case like this, if they had breaking news about a suspect, well, we'd probably know something pretty soon. I think if they could grab this person, the person's going to be grabbed. So this is not like an unfolding long-term investigation where you're trying to find a spider web of accomplices. This is where you're trying to find a murderer, and it's kind of an imminent threat and danger right now. So any press conference that we're going to hear, unless it's a "I gotcha," it's going to be that we're still working towards it, which is basically what you've been hearing.
Yeah, they're saying that they have good tips and leads. We still hear that they're looking for this white car that was seen near the scene. Do you know anything about that?
There really hasn't been much, except for some sleuths saying that they could see, and I watched the video, they saw a reflection of a car that looked like it could be the Hyundai Elantra at the food truck around the same time that Kaylee and Maddie were at the food truck. I have not heard anything from the police department. That's strictly online sleuths that are saying that. So beyond that, I really have not heard much, except for the amount of tips that are coming in and the fact that the FBI is now handling the tips. And now they have much more breadth and width to do that with the resources that they have. However, when you split up that task of collecting leads and then deciphering those leads out and then covering those leads and then clearing them, you see that becomes very difficult. So it is imperative that this police department understands that and then sets up a group that's what they do. They divvy those leads out. They get the leads from the FBI now. They take them, they catalog them, they clear them, and then they write them off. That way they keep track of all these things that are coming in. And as I've been saying, and nobody else really has, they have to look at everyone. It doesn't matter how harsh it may be or how far-fetched. If some type of a tip comes in, or if someone's behavior is strange enough to get on the radar of some people, they need to be cleared. Where were they that night, and what have they been doing since? And that's the way this needs to unfold.
Yeah, take us through what they're doing or what they've done. I'm assuming they have the victims' phones, their iPads, their computers, and are going through, because, we're hearing that one of these victims, or all of them, could have been targeted. So if maybe, there was some sort of argument between a friend or an ex-boyfriend or somebody stalking, they would know at this point, right?
Well, they may or may not. I mean, the unfortunate part of this is that those 4 individuals in that house were very, very close. So they would probably be the ones to know for sure if there was an argument or a beef that they were having with someone else. I would think what law enforcement would be looking at the most with technology is cell phone towers, and in certain cases, where people log on, there's Wi-Fi signals. You can kind of get that information and track who's been where. But the cell phone towers will tell you quite a bit that people were moving around. It'll tell you what phones were moving around at that particular time. But the problem with that is that that's not something you can hit a button and you just get a printout of where this car was or that car. You're going to get a lot of phone numbers. So then you have to go through those phone numbers and then try to determine where the movement was occurring. So these cell phone towers have really been extremely helpful when somebody makes a phone call or not make a phone call. If you have one of these phones on, they're pinging off a tower somewhere, and those are the records that have been the most useful in cases like this.
Yeah, now hopefully they're able to find something. I know you're not there and you're not currently investigating this case, but if you were to think about this potential suspect, so they're assuming he's a male, the amount of perhaps, what about the age? Because to go and do that to 4 people, I would assume they'd have to be younger. And let's go back to the type of knife that police believe they use. If you were to categorize this person, do you think it could be a student, somebody younger, maybe somebody who lives within that area?
Well, I think it's going to be somebody of a lower income bracket because that knife is a very easily obtained knife. It's about $99 if you order it on Amazon. Not an expensive knife. There's tons of these fixed blade K-bars or K-bar knockoffs that are all over the place. So because it's kind of a relic from the military that is still sold in the public. So a lot of people get those and have those, or somebody that's been in the military have them. I think that's a very important part because that shows you that the person did not go out and buy the latest technology. So that's when I put them in a financial category at that point. I think because of the nature, the exhaustive nature of killing 4 people, then I believe that they're younger. I believe they're probably under the age of, I mean, there are people that are in their 50s. I'm 53 and I'm in great shape. So somebody that's older could have done it, but it's going to take somebody physically fit. So if they're older, they're going to be physically fit enough to do it. Yeah. But most likely, you're going to have somebody between college age and a little bit older where they're not going to quite be noticed so much if they're out in and around that time. And somebody who has a habit of being up late as well.
Yeah, somebody who can fit in. Also, a convicted killer was arrested just a mile away from the home where the 4 students were found. But police say he's not a suspect. Do you think that they should look into this matter more?
Well, if they did what I was saying earlier and they pull this guy's records and they have some way to tell that he was in a location where he was on the 13th, I think that's where their ability to clear these people are. But listen, just because someone's cleared doesn't mean that something won't pop up later that shows that they were lying or there was some other, like maybe they had actually set their cell phone down, but then they get reports that they were in another area. If law enforcement's doing their job, they're going to continue to keep those things in there and keep those in the record so they can track those things. And I just say this, the law enforcement department there in Moscow, I know they're working hard. They're overwhelmed with what they're doing because they haven't done this in so long, and so many people are out there. Criticism is so heavy. However, they have to realize when they come on and go online and tell people that are these online sleuths that they're going to start looking at these people and they're going to get them in charge and possibly charge them criminally, they're going in the wrong direction. These are people, annoying as they may be, that could be helping them find bits and pieces along the way. I would rather see Moscow Police Department put cameras everywhere and ask people to monitor those than tell them to go away or we're going to charge you criminally.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they have an update today. Hopefully we'll hear something. Jonathan Gilliam, thank you so much. We appreciate it.